Week 14 of the NFL season begins tonight with the Patriots and the Rams, and this is a brand new Kickoff with Kelly. Good afternoon and welcome into Kickoff with Kelly. I'm Kelly Warner, and as always, I'm here to get you ready for another week of NFL action. But before we move on to this week, let's take a look back with another edition of Love It or Leave It. The Packers may have drafted love, but they are loving Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so last week I brought up how Derrick Henry should be considered for MVP, which I still stand by, but we all know the MVP award is usually a quarterback's game. And I realized watching the Eagles get whacked on Sunday, why hasn't Aaron Rodgers been the talk of MVP town? The Packers drafted Jordan Love, and ever since he's been playing out of his mind. The man breaks records every week, it seems. He became the fastest player to throw 400 career touchdown passes, and he's also the first passer in NFL's 101 seasons to throw at least 35 touchdown passes on 5 separate occasions. Any spotlight that was on Russell Wilson and his messy Seahawks should now be on Rodgers and his soaring Packers, because the only other QB that's looking that good is Pat Mahomes, also very much still a contender. The Jets and Jaguars are leaving last week without wins, and the Jets without a defensive coordinator. Trevor Lawrence should be flattered at the way the Jets and Jaguars are losing games at this point. The Jets. They shockingly fired someone before Adam Gase, although that one is definitely coming. Defensive coordinator Greg Williams lost his job after the Jets lost in spectacular fashion, going 3-and-out, and then the Raiders going right down and scoring a game-winning 46-yard touchdown in the final 5 seconds. The successful escape broke the Raiders' 6-game road losing streak against the Jets, one that extended back to 1997. The Jags merely lost in overtime at Minnesota in a game that featured 2 missed field goals and 3 unsuccessful extra point tries. The Jets remain in position to choose first in 2021 with their 0-12 record, but one New York victory would likely thrust the Jaguars, who have 1 win, into the pole position since Jacksonville owns the tiebreaker given its weaker strength of schedule. The Rams are now number 1 in the NFC West, and coach Sean McVay is undefeated against the Cardinals. And if you haven't heard, he's also 33-0 when the Rams lead at halftime. I, for one, was surprised to see the Patriots listed as underdogs to the Chargers last week, and they proved me right, beating LA 45-0. Cam Newton had a personal victory as well. The man with more rushing touchdowns than any other quarterback ever also became the first to score at least 2 on the ground in 4 different games in one season. The Pats are staying in SoFi and taking on the Rams, and I don't think it will go in a very similar way. The Rams don't usually prove me right, let alone twice in a row, but I have to go Rams here. Let's take a look at Sunday with this week's can't-miss matchups. The Vikings and Bucks are currently number 6 and 7 in the NFC playoff picture respectively, and with the Saints clinching and the Packers surely not far behind, these two need those wildcard spots. The Vikings just barely beat the Panthers 2 weeks ago and then went into overtime with the 1-win Jaguars last week, but as the saying goes, a win is a win. But playoffs? Vikings need to beat a winning team first, which hasn't happened since the Packers in Week 8. So we will see if this comeback is for real, and when they face off against the Buccaneers in Tampa, and sorry Purple People Eaters, I don't think it is, Bucks by 7. The Cardinals making the list once again, but this is the Giants' first time on Can't Miss this year. The Giants are making a comeback and could very well win the NFC East. Actually, they are my pick to win it. The Cardinals are right on the bubble of playoff contention, and after their recent skid, they really need this win and a win over the Eagles next week before they have to face 2 divisional rivals before the season ends. The Cardinals open as 2.5-point favorites, and they really need the win, so I'm going Cards. A failed second down shotgun snap sealed the Texans' fate last week and ended up handing the Colts a big win. The Colts offense scored a season-high 24 points in the first half, and the defense shut out the Texans in the second half. But the Colts offense didn't score any points in the second half, and that top 5 defense allowed 20 points in the first half, having allowed an average of 21.5 points in the first half of the past 4 games, counting Sunday. They're 8-4 and in the 7th and final AFC playoff spot, tied with the Titans for the AFC NFC South Division top spot, but the Texans have the division record tiebreaker advantage. The margin for error is slim, be it for a division title or a playoff berth. The Raiders are in the same boat, right on the bubble after their last-minute win over the Jets. The Colts open as 2.5-point favorites, but I'm going Raiders with the upset at home. We've kicked off and now it's time to cash out. This is where I'll give you my locks of the week. First off, the Jets are 13.5-point underdogs to the Seahawks. I'm picking the Jets to cover there. Then I have the Falcons covering 2.5 against the Chargers. Lastly, I've got Packers-Lions under 54.5 total points. That'll do it for this week's Kickoff with Kelly. Remember, brand new episodes every Thursday at 3 o'clock, streaming on Facebook Live. And if you missed us, be sure to check it out on Penn State Sports Night's YouTube channel. I'm Kelly Warner. Enjoy your weekend.